All right, so we are back at it here. So I've been getting a few pieces on here and there whenever I've got a minute or two to throw them on. So we've got the top of the shifting box here put back on, and then the top of the differential and the 3-point there and stuff, put that back on. And then also got the rear PTO casing and stuff back here put back on. So now next part is going to be put on the front half of the transmission. Took a little longer than expected. This roller bearing here, I ordered the wrong one. It was way too big, so it took a couple extra days there. But yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I got it all chained up here. Gonna hoist it up and get it moved into position, and also put on some of the sealing silicone between, or the what's that stuff called? Oh yeah, flange sealant. Anaerobic flange sealant. So put that on. We'll put that right around, all around here on the outside in there, and then that will prevent it from leaking. Sometimes you have gaskets between the blocks like that, but on New Holland it's just simply if the sealant does the job. So yeah, I'll get started on that. So we got that attached then. I'll do this better, it actually bends right. There we go. So now let's put in the rest of the bolts around it. And then, so as I was setting in those top two, you saw me go inside here with the socket and that bottom nut down at the bottom there, inside here, that guy. I did that because the gears weren't quite lining up right inside, so I just gave it a little bit of movement. They popped right into place, so it went really smoothly. Hard to line up those gears inside there. So now, after I get all those bolts in there, I'm going to somehow figure out how to pull up on the parking brake lever here so that it locks up the parking brake, because right now it's not. And the reason for that is because inside that big nut that I was turning on in there, that needs to be torqued down to 294 foot-pounds pressure. So, in order to do that, I'm gonna lock the parking brake up so that locks up the transmission. Also I've got the gears in so that they're locked in position, so that when I spin that, it's gonna try to spin the tires. But if I have the parking brake locked, hopefully they won't. And then that way I can get that nut tightened down to that 294 pounds of pressure. The book says that you are to make a tool that before you were to put it on here, you put a plate across, bolt it in on each side, and then lock the gear in place to torque that nut down. But I didn't want to take the time to make that, and so I'm really hoping that this is going to work, to just lock that parking brake and torque on that nut. Hopefully we get it to the proper clicking pressure. So, all right, so I said it was 294 foot-pounds for that large nut inside there. That's actually the Newton metric. So that actually comes down to 217, or it's like 216 point something. So 217 foot-pounds. We're gonna actually go to like 220 though, just because I always like a little extra. Why not? And then all right, so throw that on in there for now. I'll show you what I did with the parking brake then to tighten it up. Just threw a ratchet strap on there, wrapped it around back there. So hopefully that's enough pressure on that parking brake. I mean, that thing's meant to keep the tractor from rolling downhill. You can kill the tractor when you put it in gear and it's still parking brake locked. So I think hopefully that'll work. We're about to find out though. I think it's going to. The only thing I really need, a block of wood or something here, just to support. See if one of these will work out. I think this one might. Okay, we're gonna try that. All right. We're good. I thought it would have needed to be tightened up more than that. Just to make sure, we're gonna go a few notches more because. All right. Sweet. I honestly wasn't fully expecting that to work. I'm glad it did. So, that's good. So now I think the piece I'm going to work on is the valve sector, is what I call it. This whole area right in here. So I'm going to probably clean all this up first with a wire brush on the drill. And then, because I don't think it calls for flange stuff on there, but I'm going to put flange stuff on there just to ensure a little better leak proof. So, and then get all those put on, and all the interior Got some interior work on there. Gotta put the union piece back on now that I've got that nut on there. Gotta put the union piece on over that nut, and then got a few snap rings to put on here, and we'll be getting close. Time for the cab. Get this thing put on. This is moving forward rather well. Now that I've just devoted my time to just get it done and keep this moving forward. Now, if I could only find that 10 metric wrench, where is that? Alright, get this hood put on, last piece, and then I got a back window yet to put on too, and then be able to start testing some calibration, and should be getting ready to rock and roll again. was a pretty good day. Got it mostly put back together. Couple things we just gotta wait till morning on is I need a few snap rings for the pins for the pins for the back window. Put that back in. And then also I'm missing a copper washer for this here. There we go. The copper washer that goes on this I'm missing. Getting one ordered in tomorrow morning right away at the local parts place. And get that in, then I can fill it up with hydraulic oil again and start running tests. So, otherwise, and calibrating it and stuff. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be back in action with this girl. All right, so I had it pretty well calibrated, was trying it out, and it kept throwing that it would start to move and then throw to neutral. And what that was is behind the fuel tank here, there's a couple wires, and I had them on the wrong way, and there's just no way to get to them because it is tight fit. There's just no way getting your hand back there. So I had to drop the fuel tank just a little bit, just drop the front half, and then was able to get to them. And I wasn't for sure, but I had a suspicion that's what it was. Luckily, I did take a picture of it before I tore it all apart. And sure enough, pretty much out of all 4 wires, pretty much every wire was in the wrong spot. So, got those matched up right, started it up, calibrated it again, which it did throw different calibration numbers then, because those wires were on the pressure switches. And then once I calibrated it, drove it forward, drove it backwards, seems to be acting normal now. So I'm going to get the last piece put on then, the back window, and take it out and give it a test drive. But so far it sounds really good. All right, so we are officially back together. Yeah, not bad. So, as far as I know, there's just one bolt, one nut, 2 washers. And no, the bolt and nut do not go together because they are different sizes. Nut's too big. So, the 2 washers, I'm sure go somewhere. I don't know how I missed them. And this one, though, this is a different style bolt. So I don't know if I actually took that off with this tractor. Same with this nut. Those might have came from different machines and they just made their way onto the tray while I was working it. So hopefully not important. But all right, we'll open her up. Go for a little test drive. missed it here somewhere. There we go. Alright. Windshield wiper? Yep. That works. I don't like the sound it makes at 1500, but uh-oh. Okay. Sticky. Oh, sticky. Woohoo! Let's go racing. Now it's time to go. There we go. Alright, I don't want to go on the gravel quite yet. I want to plaster it as soon as we take it out of the shop. Give her a little turn around. Boy, this is feeling nice. Oh, there's a... I think it's working alright. We got some little things here and there maybe to work out, but it's moving. Oh, I smell something burning. Probably just fresh. Just getting back into the use of things. Maybe. Alright. Yes, sir. I think we got a loader tractor again. Thank goodness. Oh. Awesome. Alright, so guess I'll button up this project. It's pretty well buttoned up. Just gonna check coolant levels and the other fluids now that it's moved around some. So, but yeah, finally. Been wanting this project done for a while. So, like I said earlier, I think it's been 2 months. So, but, alright. Well, y'all, thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you next time.